The Zorix Empire was the largest military force the galaxy had seen in 10,000 years. It controlled more than 1,000 star systems, crushed more than 80 species, and believed no power could stop it. The High Command often said one line with pride, "If we want a world, we take it." But there was one world they had never touched, Earth, and many in the Empire wondered why. The question became louder when a broken scout ship returned from the edge of human space. The ship drifted into the Zorix capital port with half its hull melted, engines dead, and only one crew member alive. The survivor was a young officer named Keter. His body was shaking, his eyes wide. And he kept repeating the same words again and again, "They are not what we thought. Humans are wrong. Wrong, wrong." The doctors believed he was delirious. The generals believed he was weak. But the Council of Strategists demanded a report. So Keter, trembling, told them what he saw. He said the humans did not guard their borders with fleets or weapon platforms. Instead, they used something he called silent nets, fields of invisible energy that read every signal, every pulse, every heartbeat of anything entering their territory. The moment the Zorix scout ship crossed the border, its systems shut down instantly. It was like the ship was caught in the fist of a giant. Then he spoke of the voice, a deep, cold voice that echoed inside their minds. A warning transmitted without sound, without language, yet perfectly understood by everyone on board. "Do not enter human space again," Keter said. The warning was not angry. It was not emotional. It simply felt absolute, like a natural law, like gravity speaking. But the Empire laughed. They believed humans were primitive, slow to expand, and isolated. Their only known achievements were old records of small wars and small ships, nothing impressive, nothing dangerous. The Emperor himself dismissed the report with a wave of his armored hand. He said, "If humans have power, they hide it because they are weak." But one person did not laugh. General Vora, leader of the Empire's Shadow Legion. She had fought dozens of campaigns. She had seen species who pretended to be weak until it was too late. And she did not like the way Keter's voice broke when he remembered the warning. She asked a simple question to the High Command. Why would a weak species warn us instead of fear us? No one answered. Instead, they prepared the invasion fleet. The Emperor wanted a fast victory to show the galaxy that no warning, no threat, and no mystery could stop the Zorix Empire. He wanted Earth as a symbol, but far away in the deep of human space. Another message moved quietly through the encrypted channels of Earth's defense network. Zorix Empire is coming. There was no fear in the message. No panic, only calm confirmation on Earth. In underground command bunkers, old machines booted up. Doors sealed for centuries began to open again. And the system known only as Protocol H01 whispered to itself as its lights lit up one by one. Invaders detected, preparing response. The Empire ignored the warning. And because of that, their doom had already begun. The Zorix Empire launched its invasion fleet with thunder and pride. War drums echoed across the capital stations. Banners of the Empire burned bright in the artificial winds. Millions of citizens cheered as the massive armada rose from the docks like a steel storm. Their emperor stood above them and declared, "Today, humanity will kneel." The fleet consisted of 8,000 warships, hundreds of carriers, and weapons so powerful that smaller civilizations surrendered at the sight of them. The Empire believed this invasion would be easy, a fast victory to prove their dominance across the galaxy. They expected to crush Earth with numbers and firepower, but none of them knew they were already flying toward their own grave. General Vora, the one person who had doubts, stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Iron Will. Her face remained calm, but inside something felt wrong. She replayed the scout officer Keeter's message in her mind. The silent warning, the melted hull, the dead crew. Nothing about that report felt normal. As the fleet crossed into the far edge of human space, something strange happened. The stars around them flickered, not dimmed flickered. Like someone was interfering with space itself. The ship's sensors began acting strange, showing distances that changed every second, heat signatures that appeared and vanished. Gravitic distortion, her science officer whispered, but no natural source. Still, the fleet pushed forward, confident, unstoppable. They believed no one could challenge them. Hours later, the first human signal appeared on every ship's display. It was a simple message: "You are approaching restricted space. Turn back." The voice was calm, emotionless, and undeniably human. Some soldiers laughed, others mocked the message. They had come expecting human fear, not human confidence. The admiral of the fleet ordered the message ignored, but General Vora felt a sting of dread. "If they are confident enough to warn us," she said quietly, "they are prepared." No one listened to her. The fleet continued deeper. And then they reached the border known to humans as the line. Not a physical line, but a region where entry was not allowed. A region where something waited. At first, nothing happened. The fleet moved forward in silence. Then every ship suddenly felt a heavy pressure. Like the entire space around them had turned thick, engine output dropped by 20%. Then 30, then 40, alarms echoed across the armada. Unknown interference, shields weakening, propulsion unstable, and then came the second message. Last warning. This time the voice was colder, sharper. It didn't sound like a threat. It sounded like the truth. The admiral grew angry. "Who do these humans think they are?" he shouted. "We are the Empire." Fire a warning volley. But when the warships tried to charge their weapons, the energy scattered like sand slipping through fingers. Something was draining the power not from the weapons, but from space itself. General Vora felt her heart tighten. "We should not be here," she whispered. "Something is watching us." She looked out the viewport and saw nothing but dark space. But she felt it, something ancient, something powerful, something completely hidden. The fleet had crossed a line they should never have crossed. And the humans had not even shown themselves yet. The Zorik's fleet moved deeper into human space, slower now, nervous now. Every captain felt the same cold pressure in their chest. But none dared to speak it. The admiral still believed victory was certain. They believed humans were weak, disorganized and hiding out of fear, but then it happened. The first human signal appeared again, not on screens this time, but inside every ship's core systems. A message carved itself into the command interface like it had always belonged there. "Final warning, turn back." The admirals laughed. But the crews did not. The voice had a weight to it, a calmness that did not match the threat. No one threatens with such confidence unless they know exactly what they can do. General Vora felt her throat dry. "This is not arrogance," she said. "This is certainty." Before anyone could respond, the darkness in front of the fleet rippled, like someone had pulled a curtain, and then they saw it. Not a fleet, not an army, just one ship. A single human vessel appeared out of the fold of space. No lights, no markings. Its surface looked smooth, black, and strangely alive. It felt wrong. Not because it was frightening, but because it felt like the ship was not made of metal, but something far more advanced, something the galaxy had never seen before. "Scan it," the admiral ordered. They tried, but every scanner failed. Every reading came back empty. The ship was there. But the instruments refused to acknowledge it, as if space itself obeyed the human vessel. The admiral grew angry. "Destroy that ship," he commanded. The Empire's rail cannons charged, missiles armed, plasma arrays lit up. The fleet aimed thousands of weapons at one single human ship. Confident the first strike would send a message. "Fire," the admiral said. Nothing happened. The weapons discharged. But the shots slowed down in mid-space, dragged apart by invisible hands. Rail slugs turned to dust, plasma thinned into harmless mist. Missiles drifted like dead leaves in still water. The fleet stared in horror. They had fired their strongest weapons, and space itself had refused to carry the attack. General Vora whispered the words no one wanted to hear. "This is human tech? Since when did humans learn to control the laws of physics?" Before the admiral could answer, the human ship moved. Not fast, not aggressive. It simply vanished. Like a shadow blown away by a soft breath, and then a soft voice echoed across every Zorix speaker. "Our turn." The first human strike was silent. There was no beam, no explosion, no flash of light. Instead, the engines of 50 Zorix destroyers simply shut down. Their cores went dark, shields vanished. Weapons powered off. The ships drifted helplessly. No sound, no battle, no struggle, just total shutdown. Panic spread through the fleet. "We're losing control. Power failure. Systems offline." Then another human message came. "This is mercy." The Zorix admirals shouted orders, but their voices were drowned by fear. They now understood the truth. The human ship wasn't a weapon. It was a warning, a reminder. If humans wanted them dead, they would already be dead. General Vora closed her eyes, and for the first time she knew what the Council had feared all along. "We cannot win," she whispered. "Not against this." But the fleet was too deep, too committed, and too proud. The real attack had not even begun. The Zorix fleet had expected resistance, but not this. They had expected a battle. But not silence. They had expected human weapons. But not human control over space itself. Now half their destroyers drifted powerless. Floating like broken feathers in the dark, the admirals tried to steady their voices. But fear cracked every word. "Restart the cores," they ordered. "Reboot everything." Nothing worked. The ships would not obey. As if some unseen hand held them in place and refused to release them, the darkness around them felt heavy now, as if the void itself was watching. General Vora moved to the main display, her voice low and tight. "This is not a weapon system," she said. "This is dominance." No one argued because everyone felt it. The human ship had not simply attacked. It had shown what humans could do without trying. And that was the most terrifying part. Then the lights dimmed across the flagship. Not a power failure, but a controlled shift. The screens flickered and the same human message returned, written in quiet, calm letters, "Turn back. This is your last chance." The admiral slammed his fist against the console, anger hiding his fear. "They only have one ship," he said. "One ship cannot challenge an empire." But Vora stared at the message, shaking her head slowly. "If they wanted, they could have destroyed us already. That is not a warning from weakness." The bridge crew watched the void anxiously. Someone whispered, "Where did the human ship go?" But before anyone could answer, the starfield warped again. Not one ship this time, five. 5 identical black human vessels emerged from silent folds in space. Each one smooth and empty of detail, each one carrying the same strange presence. It felt like the void bent around them, like reality adjusted itself for their arrival. The admiral's throat tightened. "5?" he whispered. "Just 5?" Vora stepped closer to the display. "If one shut down 50 ships," she said, "what can 5 do?" Before anyone could reply, the human ships moved. They glided in quiet formation, no heat signatures, no engine trails. The watching Zorix officers saw no weapons on the hulls. No cannons, no missile bays, nothing resembling traditional warfare. And that terrified them even more. because humans did not need weapons anymore. The fleet opened fire again, this time with everything. The flagship released its doomsday plasma spear. Destroyers unleashed kinetic storms. Cruisers sent out their shield benders. The void lit up like a burning sun, and then all the weapons simply vanished, as if swallowed by the dark. No sound, no explosion, just disappearance. Like reality itself refused the attack. Gasps filled the bridge. Someone screamed. Someone else fell to their knees. The Admiral stared at the empty space where his greatest weapons had been moments ago. General Vora closed her eyes, whispering, "This is the truth. This is what the Council feared humans would become." Then every Zorik screen flickered again, this time showing a single human figure standing in a white room. Calm, expressionless, the figure spoke in a quiet voice. "We do not want war," the crew trembled, "but we will end one." The message faded. The 5 human ships remained motionless, waiting, watching, as if giving the Empire time to understand the situation. General Vora took a slow breath. "Admiral," she said, "if we continue, they will not show mercy again." But the Admiral was silent. Trapped between pride and survival, the fleet waited for his decision, the stars holding their breath with them. And far beyond the void, the humans waited too. Silence held the Zorik's fleet like a fist. No one spoke, not even the Admiral. 5 human ships faced them without fear, without hesitation, without weapons. Yet the Empire felt more helpless than ever. The Admiral finally exhaled, his voice shaking. "Retreat," he whispered. But the fleet did not move. Systems remained frozen, engines unresponsive. The void itself was against them. Then the human voice returned on every screen, calm and steady. "We will release your ships when you choose peace." General Vora stepped forward, her jaw tight. "Admiral, this is not a threat," she said. "This is an order from a power far beyond us." But the Admiral still clung to the last pieces of pride. "If we retreat," he said quietly, "the Empire collapses." Vora met his eyes. "If we fight," she answered, "the Empire dies." The crew waited. Breath slow, hands cold. They felt the weight of the moment. A turning point not just for them, but for the entire galaxy. At last, the Admiral lowered his head. "We choose peace," he said, the words breaking him more than any weapon could. The bridge lights brightened, engines hummed back to life. The fleet systems unlocked at once, released from the invisible grip of the human ships. The human voice spoke again, gentle but firm. "Leave this sector. Do not return to Earth." And with that, the 5 human ships vanished, slipping out of space as quietly as they had arrived. The Zorik's fleet turned around and retreated, not as conquerors, but as survivors. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council convened in absolute silence. Representatives from dozens of species watched the footage the Zoriks had brought, the moment their weapons vanished, the moment their fleet froze, the moment the humans spoke. Fear spread through the chamber like a storm. One counselor whispered, "We warned them." Another added. Earth was never weak. General Vora stood before them, pale but steady. "Humans have evolved," she said. "They have mastered space in ways we do not understand. They do not want war. But they will not allow invasion." Some council members panicked. "Should we prepare for human expansion?" One cried, "Should we form a defense league?" Another asked. Vora shook her head. "Humans did not attack us," she said. "They defended themselves with perfect control. If they wanted the galaxy, they would have taken it already." The chamber fell into uneasy quiet. The galaxy had always feared humanity, but now that fear had changed. It was no longer fear of chaos or violence. It was fear of power beyond logic, on Earth. The human ships returned through silent folds, landing in hidden bases with no celebration, no pride, only duty. They had done what was necessary, nothing more. A single human operator reviewed the data logs. His expression calm, he whispered to himself, "They will not return." Outside, the planet remained peaceful, unaware of the invasion that almost reached it, unaware of the empire that had tried to strike, and unaware of the 5 silent guardians watching from the shadows. Across the galaxy, word spread fast. Empires reconsidered their ambitions. Pirates vanished into hiding, borders quieted. For the first time in generations, the galaxy moved carefully because even without seeing them, everyone felt the truth. The humans were awake, and the galaxy would never be the same again,